Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital News YouTube channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribers button and give this video a thumbs up. To Jason's astonishment, Sonny was standing in his office at the Corinthos coffee warehouse, asking if he was free. To clear the air, Sonny stated. He announced that he and Dex had come to a decision. "I'm done with him, and he can do whatever he wants to do," Sonny declared. "Is his dream to work as a police officer? Not important to me." Though Sonny's statement that he wanted to do the same deal with Jason startled Jason, who felt that was the appropriate decision. "Go work for the FBI or whatever it is that you're doing, but I don't want to have anything more to do with you," Sonny replied. He made the same offer to purchase Jason's share of Corinthos Coffee, but Jason declined. "This was our business," declared Jason. "Our enterprise was formed by us as equal partners." In response, Sonny said that their collaboration was predicated on a betrayed trust. Jason claimed that Sonny was the reason he was staying, not himself. It was, after all, the last legal venture he had left to protect him from RICO charges. Jason maintained that he was Sonny's buddy and would never spy on him, despite Sonny's accusations to the contrary. Sonny was forewarned by Jason that he was in serious jeopardy. Jason pleaded with Sonny to control his behavior as it was concerning him, and he was making poor choices. Jason's remarks had little effect. Sonny declared that he would no longer be friendly with Jason because Jason was rejecting his buyout offer. "You're done if you don't move out of my way." "You've left," Sonny murmured. Molly stopped into Metro Court to inquire with Carly regarding Sonny, Dex, Jason, and Christina's actions on the evening of Brooklyn and Chase's nuptials. Carly claimed she couldn't tell Molly anything because she had been relaxing at home with her feet up. As her aunt, Molly appealed to Carly. "You've known me my whole life, and I'm asking you for help," Molly replied. Molly was concerned about Christina's health. Christina was carrying Molly's child, after all. Carly consented to speak, provided that it remained unrecorded, and Molly did not utilize any of her remarks for legal purposes. After Molly gave her okay, Carly told her that Sonny had followed Christina to the ladies' room in an attempt to clarify the situation, and that Jason had called to inform her about the altercation, which Christina had witnessed. "I believe Christina's fear of Sonny stemmed from the fact that she perceived him differently than she had in the past. That must have devastated Christina," Carly remarked. Carly apologized for the way things had happened, but she acknowledged that Christina had to confront Sonny's dangerous side at some point. Molly made the decision to keep the details to herself and not even share them with TJ. Subsequently, Sonny informed Carly that he had been interacting with Jason when he entered Metro Court. Jason was alerted to something he heard back at the warehouse. One gunman took up position close to the coffee bean sacks, and another man with a gun crouched behind them. Soon after, there was a burst of gunshots. Jason was hemmed in even though he was able to hide and draw his gun. John visited Brennan in the hospital, preparing to take him back to Pentonville. John responded to Brennan's question about when the FBI turned into prison guards by telling him that Brennan was unique since he was a corrupt intelligence agent. "You are dangerous by definition," he stated. John was informed by Portia that Brennan would not be leaving anytime soon. His surgeon had not given the all-clear to go. Brennan was a security concern with training in misinformation, John informed Portia, meaning he could make things look like what they're not. No matter what, Brennan would not be freed until his surgeon gave the all-clear, according to Portia. John insisted on grilling Brennan after Portia departed. He wondered why Brennan had been imprisoned for so long without being given a chance to defend himself, and why the attorneys had been requesting needless delays, seemingly with the intention of prolonging the case. Brennan was charged by John of refusing to leave Pentonville until it was appropriate. Brennan maintained that he didn't even comprehend the accusations. Everything was a farce that started when Carly saw him wearing zip ties and assumed he was going to abduct her. John was interested in discussing Brennan and Anna's relationship. John believed it was too coincidence that Anna had been the one to apprehend Brennan, because he and Brennan had a history dating back to their early days at the WSB. John surmised that the bust had been a plot to remove Brennan from his Pikeman leadership role and install Anna in it instead. Chase saw Elizabeth at the nurse's station while he was elsewhere in the hospital. She gave him a quick hug and expressed her sympathy for his father. But Chase had a purpose for being there. Gregory sought to locate someone who could provide him with a copy of his father's death certificate in his capacity as Gregory's executor. Before they had a conversation, Elizabeth had called the hospital records department and located it for Chase. He told her that he was still being struck by the reality of Gregory's passing. "It feels like I'm moving underwater," stated Chase. "Because I'm slower, everything moves more slowly." This reassured him that his experiences were typical and emphasized the importance of not being hesitant to seek assistance. Chase also desired to discuss Finn. Because Chase had called Elizabeth to check on Finn, he felt responsible for Finn's quarrel with her and was worried about his brother's drinking. Elizabeth brought up the fact that Finn had already started drinking when she arrived. His reaction was his own. She remarked, "It wasn't your fault for phoning, and it had nothing to do with the timing." Chase argued that Finn felt regret for both his drinking habits and his treatment of Elizabeth. Chase was certain that Finn would no longer turn to drink, and Elizabeth made an effort to maintain her optimism. Chase went on to explain why Finn had drunk, but Elizabeth clarified that she knew Finn had recently experienced a horrible event. "What I didn't understand was his reaction to me," the woman remarked. "He was combative and upset with me for urging him to attend a meeting, which he declined to do." Chase kept making reasons, but Elizabeth had been concerned about Violet. Chase stated, "Finn made poor decisions, and he knows it." Chase eventually asked Elizabeth to a memorial service where they would scatter Gregory's ashes. She acknowledged that Finn had informed her beforehand and that she would be there. Laura was furious in the mayor's office that an article about her attempts to have Heather's case reopened had appeared in The Invader. Jordan considered Laura's defense of herself and her claim that she had a right to obtain copies of Heather's records as a citizen as problematic because Heather was a serial killer. Laura remained enraged and maintained that, given Heather's grant of power of attorney, she was within her rights. When Curtis showed Portia the article about Laura at the hospital, she became enraged. "There's got to be more to this story because the Laura I know would never do this," stated Curtis. After giving it some thought, he came up with a plan. He told Portia they would discuss that evening as he turned to go. Once back in her office, Laura gave Jordan the assignment to investigate a press leak, but she also expressed gratitude to Jordan for not telling Laura what might have happened and for not saying, "I told you so." Jordan suggested that Laura make a statement stating that she had no plans to reopen Heather's case in order to get ahead of the narrative. Laura wasn't prepared to commit to something she could find it difficult to fulfill. Laura agreed to write a statement stating that she had no intention of liberating Heather because she had acknowledged as much. Jordan departed later when Curtis came over to chat to Laura about Heather. In an attempt at diplomacy, Curtis told Laura that he hadn't given much thought to her initial interest in Heather's case since he hadn't anticipated that she would actually make a move to have it reopened. But now he was starting to worry. Laura stated that she had no intention of releasing Heather. She was simply investigating potential legal implications stemming from Heather's diagnosis of cobalt toxicity. "I can tell you it's my personal feeling that in light of Heather's diagnosis, she deserves to have her case reopened," Laura said. All she could hope for, though, was that Heather would receive a lighter sentence and not be released. She also informed Curtis that since nothing had been done yet, the conversation was premature. Curtis requested Laura to consider the situation from both his family's and Trina's perspectives. After witnessing her friends being harassed and attacked, Trina discovered she had been the target of the abuse. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.